everybody! Since the year is coming to a close, I wanted to take a moment to shout out some of the women who really helped shape 2015, and also shout out this inflatable beard, which has already paid for itself. Look how easy it is to look wise now. One woman who certainly had the biggest year of her life was Caitlyn Jenner. Snaps for coming out as transgender and starting a lot of conversations. Some trans activists have been concerned that she isn't necessarily representing transgender identity in the most helpful way, by sometimes making it very much focused on the glitz and the glam rather than what's going on the inside. Nonetheless, you gotta give Caitlyn snaps, because she was, really one of the most important figures of 2015. Another athletic superstar who had an incredible history-making year is Serena Williams. She won 4 Grand Slam tournaments in a row. She also just became the very first African-American woman named Sports Illustrated Sports Person of the Year. I wanted to highlight some of her speech in accepting that award. I've had people look past me because of the color of my skin. I've had people overlook me because I was a woman. I've had critics say I would never win another Grand Slam when I was only at number 7. And here I stand today with 21 Grand Slam titles, and I'm still going. An amateur athlete that I want to give snaps to is MIA drummer and all-around badass Kieran Gandi. Gandhi ran the London Marathon while she was on her period and did not use a tampon. It started this whole viral conversation about women's bodies. It was great to see all of this period pride. The next rad lady on the list is full stack engineer Isis Anchali, who started the viral hashtag I look like an engineer. The company she worked for used her in an ad campaign. So many just gross comments about how the ad couldn't possibly be real. Someone that hot could not be a full stack engineer. This hashtag was kind of the culmination of this experience, but it went viral. Women posting photos of themselves doing cool things, or also just taking random selfies, just being like, hey, this is my face and this is what an engineer looks like, essentially saying that engineers can be diverse. Celebrity shout out to Jennifer Lawrence, who started a massive conversation about the gender wage gap in a hilarious and infuriating Lenny letter essay, in which she just basically owned her own poor negotiation skills sometimes, because she didn't want to be seen as less likable for asking for more money, and then was like, I am over this, all the while acknowledging that when she talks about a gender wage gap, we are talking in millions of dollars, and that seems completely ridiculous. Those kinds of conversations, had so frankly by people that everyone is paying attention to, does have a trickle-down effect. Another one of the most important women in Hollywood this year was director Ava Duvernay, whose film Selma was essentially snubbed by the Oscars, but that did not stop her from raising so many important conversations about the need for not only more women behind the camera, but particularly women of color behind the camera. To the point, Mattel created what was gonna be a limited edition Barbie of her, but there was so much public excitement over it, they did a general run, and it sold out in 17 seconds. Also have to give a huge 2015 lady shout out to Cecile Richards, who's president of Planned Parenthood, who had what could have been the worst year ever because of the lies and doctored footage, casting them as this evil organization. Abortion is an important healthcare service. Not to mention all of the other important healthcare services like pap smears and mammograms and STD tests that comprise a majority of Planned Parenthood's business. As the president of Planned Parenthood, Cecile Richards is the face of all of this and had to sit through over 5 hours of a congressional hearing where she was continually interrupted by just blatantly misogynistic congressmen who were trying to challenge the validity of the work that Planned Parenthood does. One of the more controversial women who definitely shaped 2015, especially on college campuses, is Emma Sulkowicz, whose carry that weight performance art piece was also a protest against Columbia University not expelling the guy she alleges sexually assaulted her in her dorm room, carrying around the mattress where the alleged assault took place all the way to graduation. As with pretty much any time a woman publicly alleges sexual assault, she has attracted just as many haters as she has supporters, but I cannot think of a more visually arresting example of the activism around campus sexual assault that has really been taking place across the country, especially this year. Last but certainly not least, all of the snaps to Alicia Garza, Patricia Cullors, and Opal Tometi, who founded Black Lives Matter. And even though it did not start in 2015, it has been such a powerful movement that it continues to shape our world and will continue shaping, I'm sure, 2016 as well, such as at the University of Missouri. Those protests partially spurred by the hunger strike of a dude named Jonathan Butler, who, when he was being interviewed, also gave shout outs to 3 queer Black women who took notes essentially from the Black Lives Matter movement and sort of repurposed it for the University of Missouri protests that eventually got the president of the university to step down. I think that the movement is pretty unstoppable at this point and has sparked conversations long overdue in the United States about race and privilege and identity. It feels good to look back on the year amid a lot of awful things that did happen and see some beacons. This is by no means a comprehensive list of all of the rad ladies doing rad things that helped shape 2015. So if I missed folks, let me know in the comments. Here's to 2015 and here's to 2016 ladies killing it too.